let me just bring up this CEO survey that Marcum had with Hofstra University, which I found really interesting, because you're saying that according to the 300 CEOs that actually responded to this survey, 46% think that the U.S. trade policy right now is beneficial, as opposed to 43% that think it's harmful. This is pretty interesting to me, because you would think that all of the uncertainty over trade would really make these CEOs pretty hesitant.
Well, first of all, Shery, thanks for having me. Heidi, how are you? 46-43 is not exactly an overwhelming endorsement of the trade policies, and I think it's almost pretty well split. There are certain CEOs who feel that these trade policies will bring jobs back to the U.S. and will make the U.S. more competitive with China, which has historically been a low-price competitor, also has had unrealistic government subsidies. While 43% think it's harmful. So I don't know that there's any clear-cut indication. 46-43 is pretty close to me. But, there's still an uncertainty which is affecting the market and affects both middle-market companies, publicly traded companies, and the investing public.
So I want to see how your businesses that you actually advise are thinking about what came out of this week, because the take from what was accomplished seemed to be pretty different from Washington to Beijing. In fact, the influential Xi Jinping, the Global Times editor-in-chief in China, actually tweeting, based on what I know, China-U.S. trade talks made breakthrough last week, and the two sides have the strong will to reach a final deal. The initial statement of the Chinese side is moderate. This is China's habit. It doesn't mean China's real attitude is not positive. This, of course, because the Chinese statement seemed to pour cold water on the fact that there was a trade deal in place. What are your businesses thinking was achieved this week?
Well, first of all, President Trump announced phase one of a potential deal. And, you never know with President Trump whether he's announcing something on Twitter just for the rise of the moment or to deflect another story, while the Chinese are always more tempered. So it's good news that they're talking, but I think both governments are under pressure. Both governments, both economies are feeling the pressure of this trade war. So right now, nobody's winning. And, I think it's a matter of who blinks first.
Jeffrey, how much does it sort of substantially matter in the sense that one mini deal, let's face it, is not going to be the magical fix-it for the US economy or for investor sentiment, right, which has taken such a hit? Do you think, for these companies, it's going to be enough to suddenly reverse the animal spirits that have been dented throughout the last year and a half?
Yeah, I think ending these trade wars is essential. Right now, there's uncertainty in the economy. Companies are holding back. They're holding back on hiring. They're holding back on capital expenditures. They're holding back on expansion. Having trade wars and the uncertainty does not help the economy whatsoever.